Case Study 7, Behavior Disorder. William Stark. Billy Stark was a middle school student who was involved in drugs and who smoked during school hours. He was expelled from many different middle schools and was about to start his new experience at Southview Middle School. Southview Middle School's principal was beloved by the students and his staff. Mr. Stalatic not only handled instructional issues, but he also volunteered in the cafeteria on a daily basis and supported his staff in an encouraging, positive way. The day before Billy Stark was to arrive at Southview Middle School, he held a meeting for the teachers to talk about Billy's struggles of past schools and to inform the teachers that he had chose Mr. Banta to help Billy as his homeroom teacher. He thought that Mr. Banta would be the best choice for Billy because he was a low-key, non-confrontational kind of guy. The day arrived for Billy Stark to walk through the doors of Southview Middle School, where he wore a t-shirt and jeans and bulky boots. His hair was jet black and spiked up. On the first day of school, Billy had already found himself in trouble, where he hit a student on the arm with a book when the student asked him where he got his hair done. When Mr. Banta confronted Billy about this before going to lunch, Billy said he didn't do it and that the other student provoked him and the other student should be in trouble, but not Billy. Then after lunch, Billy was found by the janitor in the bathroom smoking on school property. The head of school, Mr. Stalatic, was very thankful that he had a meeting with his father the next morning. When Mr. Stark sat down with Mr. Stalatic in the morning meeting, he informed him that Billy's mom had just left them and that he was a drug representative, so he traveled a lot and he was not really home, and he was also a recovering alcoholic. So Billy did not have much support in his life, and the support he did know of his mom had recently just left him to go pursue her own dreams. Mr. Stark opened up to Mr. Stalatic, saying that he didn't really know how to handle Billy, that he always just kind of pushed it off on his wife, and now she wasn't there. A few days later, they tried Billy in a special education room, where he was given tokens as a reward to help him be encouraged to do good behavior and to do his work. Billy would get angry and would throw the tokens at the teacher. After a few more days went on and Mr. Banta became exhausted and the special education teacher became exhausted and didn't know what to do, Mr. Stalatic received a phone call from Mr. Stark stating that him and Billy would be moving to Indiana, where Mr. Stark's family was. He decided this would be the best opportunity for him because he would be around his supporting family. Southview Middle School was relieved but saddened that they didn't have the full opportunity to help Billy succeed within his educational career, because once he moved to Indiana, they found out he was placed in a juvenile center, and then they had lost track of him. Marsal's hierarchy was quoted throughout this case study. It states something called a downward spiral. A downward spiral is when things start at home and then they are carried in throughout the child's day. If you feel cared for and loved at home, most likely you will walk through the school doors feeling confident and loved. However, if you do not feel loved at home, feel neglected, you will walk through the school doors feeling unloved, neglected, and feeling like life has no positive outlook for you. And this was Billy's case. Marsal's law is stating that within this case study, that is how Billy was feeling. Also, According to the case study to analyze educational issues in 2004, it states that the approach the special ed teacher used could have been as inappropriate, as those specific reward systems do not work for children with anger management, such as Billy. According to the Students with Exceptional Needs in 2004, constructive learning was how Billy was diagnosed, meaning that Billy saw everything negative. Nothing was really positive to him because he never had positive reinforcement found within his home life. Going on to this further case study of behavioral disorder, it clearly states that with consent with Mr. Stark, Billy would have been better off to become sober from drugs and prescribed a specific anxiety and depression medicine to help him ease the pain of depression, and to also been given an anger management class, and his father, Mr. Stark, should have enrolled him in a social welfare service program found within the community. When all of these people, highly skilled professionals, could have come together and could have helped Billy succeed in his educational life. Thank you.